No, this is not a mobile payment. It's an HR application that I'm building. It's not a mobile payment. I have tons of fields in this table, or in this table. Like they are crazily much. Don't know how I survived it. I think there are like how many columns? The young, you want to learn, you've not seen a teacher. Then are you searching? Are you really searching? There are teachers everywhere. Okay, so eventually we are done. So send me a DM, right? See the link on my bio, you will see what you need to do. Send me a DM and then we'll pick it up from there. Why is this one not a date? When you ask me question, I will talk. When there's no question, I will code. think if you pay attention very well, you see what I'm making. Why do people learn Go? Why do people learn anything? People just do whatever they like. People learn whatever they like. Let people do whatever they want to do. It's used for anything now. As you can see, I'm using Go. So if you are interested, just watch and then you see what its use is. Okay, so Shark Culture, how are you doing? If you're interested in joining my class, send a DM. Send a DM. If you want to reach me directly, see the link on my bio. You'll see my WhatsApp information there. Hit it and then get in touch with me, and I'll give you the process and procedure on how to follow. Also, make sure you are following. I think what I'm making is obvious. I will just spoil it for you guys. So it's better you just watch what I'm doing. Don't let me spoil it. So if you are watching, it's better. So you can ask me another question. Yeah, eventually I'm gonna run it. Just I want to make sure that all the bugs are clear. Then I'm gonna run it eventually. Yeah, it isn't go for payment. That's cool. Yeah, you can build anything with this. So I'm trying to. I did some code generation, so I'm trying to now wire it up. What you saw there was Go backend, and this is the front end, which I'm doing in TypeScript. So these are generated code, and I want to wire the whole thing up. Why is user pointing to this? Okay, so because that's what I'm getting here. So I just need to change this one to this, and everything kind of works. But of course, so many things have changed. Like this guy is pointing to the wrong thing. Authenticate me is not returning the right thing it's supposed to return. So this is not supposed to be returning a user, it's supposed to be returning an employee. Okay, so we need to go back to the Golang and make that update. So the major update is here, because here I'm telling it to return authenticated user here. What did I do here? Okay, I think I've updated this to be employee. Coding, yes, of course. So I need to clean some user specific stuff here. Authenticated user, so this needs to be returning employee, which is what I told it to return here. So this authenticates me is supposed to be user. So which user is this? Okay. So this one is still pointing to this one. That's where the issue is coming from. So this one is supposed to be pointing to employee, not user. Okay, I think I know where the problem is. So the part that has to do with the authenticate me, that's this one. This is where the problem is. It's supposed to be employee, but I can just call it, let me just leave it as employee. So this is where the problem is. Now that I have that resolved, I can then go and generate the code again. So I'm not going to respond to that question. Okay, so that is done. This is resolved, and then I have this. I will post login. What did we return? We return authenticated user. What do we have here? Post authentication. This is supposed to be employee. I don't miss this, you know. So that's supposed to be employee. Yep, correct. Okay, or I can just do it like this. Abby? Nah. I can do it like this. So that way I can still reuse this part of the code. I think there's no more error. Oh, there are still a couple of errors, but we're almost done. So this is the header part. You guys want to see the code run, just a little moment. I need to clear out the error, and then you see the code run. So this is like the employee. So I can do user. I think this is okay. So which employee set do we have? Which user is it getting safe? Okay, I think we're gonna figure that out when we get here. So I can do this. I can do the user, then I can do first name. Yes, this is correct now. Then this one can then be employee. Then this can be employee dot user. This can be this. Then this one can be employee. Okay. There's one of the interesting parts that I want to change. One of the reasons why I went through all this trouble was to actually change this part, which is the job title. This was the major reason why I'm here. Then I can do job title. That reminds me, the job title I did not get the job title here, so it's going to turn out to be empty. So where I'm getting that information under the employee, I need to also make sure that I'm getting the job title. Yes, I need to be doing something like this. This is under me, and I also need to do it under login. I'm going to write a function to handle this one because this is a whole lot. There's repetition there. Okay, so the next thing is for me to test it. Let me see if there's no more error. Everything looks green. That's green for go. Let's give it a try for those people that want to see the code by force by fire. So this is it. This is how it looks like. I'm gonna put I hope you guys will stay with me. I want to put the login, the icon and everything like that. The icon looks sickly good. I hope you're gonna like the icon. So this is the stuff. Fingers crossed. I hope everything works out well. Let me bring this one here because I'm envisaging some error. I'm thinking that there's some error that's gonna come up. We can't tell. Something might break or might not break. Let me first try something that is wrong. Okay, that's one. Let me show you what's going on at the back. So this is the guy that I just did, and also from the backend, as I'm making those requests, is hitting the server. So this is the stuff. For someone that was asking me what is Go used for, Go is used for backend stuff. So this is backend stuff going on here. Okay, I think I kind of get an error here because this error is going to come back to bite me. So I'm having an error in line 66, which is happen to be like a tenant issue. So I'm having an issue here. Define tenant, define valid foreign key for relationship dimension value scanner. So I'm having an issue with tenant. So let's see how we can resolve that tenant stuff. I know it's between this employee here. So this guy did not add the column part, just wrote only the type. Why are you not? Why are you? So tenant is here. The one that you should not even pass across. Kinder, this one is this one. Thank you, just thank you. Now let me see, because this error is going to come and bite me. This one that I've seen here is coming back to come and bite me, but I will just try and ignore it a little bit to see if it might allow me. So let me try and log in again. So this is still invalid. That is on purpose. Let me now go and see. I'm still having that issue. I'm not supposed to be having this issue at all. So let me see the tenants. I'm trying to solve that issue before I go further. Yeah, I'm trying to debug. That's what I'm trying to do now. I'm debugging the issue. So I think my code is from here. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. So I've seen where the fix is. So I'm supposed to do this, what I'm supposed to do. I can't see. Oh, this is where the issue is. Really? Okay, so let me see what is happening in. Let me now go. I think I've seen the issue. So this is supposed to be small letter like this. So let me give it a try again and see what happens. So I can't actually co-host at the moment. I'm using a Mac to stream. Once my account can do that, I will be able to co-host. So let me try and see what is happening to see if it will allow me to go ahead. I think it's correct now. So everything is working. So for those guys that want to see how it looks like, let's give it a shot. Let's see how it looks like. I'm gonna do this so that you guys can see this section. It's not Visual Studio Code. I can't remember the name right now. So let's log in. And boom, we're in. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. So all these are testing. So I'm sure you guys want to see how the fetching data is. This is the data that's been fetched from the backend. So you can see the information. I think what I'm building is pretty obvious. So you can see the data is fetching from the backend. This is the user information. These are all the information. Okay, so the next thing for me now, I now have my data and it's persistent. So if I refresh, I'm getting a me. This is a me guy to, you know, kind of make it persistent. So if I go to other pages, I come to home page. Why is it shaking like this? It's supposed to be fixed, but I'm going to fix that later, sure. So I have done some updates. If you try to move around, it changed to tablet mode. That thing showed me shege. This small effect showed me shege to be able to implement. Then one of the interesting parts is the which one is the interesting part? Yes, the mobile view. If you are doing mobile view, you don't have to repeat my name several times. So let's just say welcome. I want it to just hi is okay, Seth. Okay, so this is the mobile view, so you can toggle this effect and then your home and dry. So this is supposed to be for mobile view on tinging. Yeah, the breakpoint is working well. So you were talking about the authentication thing. I don't know where I want to go and look for the authentication stuff for, but what I can do is I will push this one. I think I can run through the whole details of how the login thing work. Let me just quickly explain the login scenario. When I mean login scenario, how do you log in authentication? So let me quickly walk on to the authentication session. So there are different methods in which you can authenticate a user. Several methods. I can't go on to explain as many as there are. There are several methods. The first one is when you can use JWT, that's token, or use cookies. In this case, I'm using cookies. You can use local storage or whatsoever. So I'm trying to look for how to start the explanation. So if I let me just try and explain as much as possible. Now, I'm using cookies. Cookies is not ideal for mobile, right? Mobile does not support cookie usage. So this is me logging in, and I have a cookie that was set when I try and check my information. This logout. When you log out, your cookie expires. So if I refresh again, I won't see the information. There's no cookie here. As you can see, there's a check for the server to find if I'm logged in, and that's by using the cookie, but there's no cookie here anymore. the cookie is set by the server and then sent back to the, what's it called, to the browser to check and then to implement. So all these things are story. Let's just go and start seeing how it works. So if you go to the backend, which is Go, there's quite a lot of code I've written, but I will try as much as possible to break it down. First of all, you start from the entry point, which is the main. This is the main guy. So in the main guy, there are a couple of things. I'm sure you understand what Gin is. Gin is a framework. So Gin is what allows us to be able to set up routing and what have you. While Gorom, that's a GORM, is for our database. So we won't be looking at that, in details. Okay. Now the Gin is what allows you to set all these parts. Say login, log out, reset passwords, and everything like that. We are concerned about logging in. So I go ahead and say this is the part I want to use to manage my login, which I've done. The next thing is to create a kind of function. Look at this as a super function or a function for logging in. So just go to the function directly. So ignore all these things, right? We just go directly and say, let's go and see the function and what happens. Now, all these stories I've done here is so that I can do Swagger. I'm sure you know Swagger by now. Swagger helps you with your documentation. And apart from documentation, it also helps you to do what I call code generation, which I implemented in this system. I did some code generation. You're going to see it soon. Now, this is what is happening. I create a login request. Login request is a form that is going to be pre-filled from the client side, and it's going to have this parameter, email and password. But because the client is going to be filling it, so it will need to have a JSON representation, which is what I've put here, email and password. So this is what the client is loading in. That's the payload. And I also define it in my Swagger documentation that the payload coming from the client is going to be in the body and it's going to be having login request parameter. So even if I show you the REST protocol, this is the REST, you can see that you have the login authentication and you can see the body. This is the body, this is the payload, and it's sending email and password. Notice how the email and password match the JSON that has been specified in the detail of the request that you're making here, right? When we are creating the structure, we've defined that this is what the client should be supplying. Okay, so if I go in there, of course, you know that if I click here, it will work, right? So we need to use 192.168.1.9. So if we run that, yeah, we can see that it logged in, which is correct, right? This is working well. Okay, so now how did that work? That's where we are going to. How did the magic works? So we've not done anything here other than just what, verifying and making sure that the data that was supplied in this part, binds with the requests. So for example, if you made a mistake and do something like this, notice the spelling of this, and then you run it. Now what happens is that it tells you that you have a bad request, saying that the key email field is not properly validated. Yeah, so that's what the purpose of this should bind does. So whatever that you are getting from the body should bind with this request. Okay, that's that part. The next part is the main thing, which is what I'm doing. All this story I'm doing here, I'm just executing or querying the database. I'm querying the database, calling the employee, joining the user with it, and checking if the user email is what was provided. If that is true, or if something happened that you didn't find the email, then you say invalid credentials. Okay, let's now say if it eventually, where am I? I'm in login. Okay, so I did something wrong. This is supposed to come after. That is supposed to come after. Abby, is that correct? It's supposed to come after. Oh no, okay. Wait. I think it's correct. Yeah, we're on the right track. Now, I'm not going to explain this one. Let me. Should I explain or should I not explain? So let me try as much as possible to explain. Now, if you notice what we have in the backend, like the results of what we did when we log in, you will notice even without going to the backend, let's go to the test environment where we test our load request. You will notice that when I do this and I send this, our data is more of like very how will I put it now, small or refined or specific, right? You're not seeing bogus data, like we're not loading too much things that we don't need. We just get as much as we need. So let's say if I want to load departments, I want to capture the department of this person. How do I do that? Now I can do that. This is now showing you how Golang works. So the model itself, look at employee model, for example. Employee model contains almost more than 20 fields. Like, in fact, it's going to, let's say 7 minus 100. That's like almost 100 fields. It has like almost, let's say 50 fields, give or take. So it's not all those 50 fields you want to be returning back. I don't need all those 50 fields at the same time. However, I still need to define the model, which I've done here. Now there's something they call DTO here, which is also a concept that was developed to be able to specify only the thing that you want to return to the client. You want to specify the only thing you want to return to the client. So here I said I want the employee, the user, and even inside the user, I've also predefined the things I want to define or return from the user. By the way, I'm not returning password and salts. I use a dash to denote that you are not returning these two things. Now, the next thing we want to do is that we want to also return department, or want to create department as well. So I will go and look for the structure that I have for departments. Do I even have departments captured here at all? Do I have departments captured? I don't think I have department captured. So this is a good time to capture department for the model itself. So this is department for the model, and then I will do the same for the DTO. Remember what DTO is supposed to be. DTO is supposed to be the data you want the user to see. You don't want to push everything back to the client. So I'll say create struct for Golang. Include JSON camel case. Thank you, Mr. Shark Culture. So I have that. I just started to do this for me. So you can see that all this information now, they might not be useful to the end user, you know, even though they are very important. But for now, we just want to use, there's some parts we want to use. So that's why I have my DTO. So I go back to my DTO here and say, I want to create DTO for departments. That's in things that are just very important. In fact, I can just copy this one and refine it and just tell it that convert to DTO. So it knows what DTO is. Like, it will just convert it. It doesn't need to have bogus stuff. Yeah, of course it needs the JSON and everything. So I don't need number, tenants. I don't need this parent ID. Okay, I'm not ready for this one. I'm not ready for this one at the moment. I don't need this. I don't need this. I don't need this. So this is just what I need, guys. You can see here, and I can do. You don't need to omit this one. No, this one is by force. You must put it. So, okay. Now I can go here and specify department and do department. Then I do JSON DPT. I think I can do DPT. Thank you. I see that. Alfred. So I can do DPT here, which is cool. Now, what I've just done is that I've introduced department to the employee. Now that doesn't mean that automatically it will see it. Do you see what's going on here? I think I've done this for you guys. You've seen how this thing comes to be. So because this guy needs to be injected into the system, you need to put it when you are doing your query. And our query was designed here. So you just specify departments and you should be good to go. Technically. So this is for, where is it? This is for login. We also need to put it for, and again, I need to write my code once because this one is, I'm writing two things in different places, which is not the ideal way to go. Now let's look for, there's one place I need to update it inside the employee. Inside the employee, we also need to have that department doc, which is not done here. And we have that department as a field here. Just want to check that there's department ID. Yes, there's department ID here, but we are not associating it inside here. So we need to associate the department inside. We can just copy this one, turn this to department. Now this is not the DTO now. This is just your normal model, database modeling. Then this needs to change to department ID. I think there's a typo there. Okay. So that's it. Let's go and check it out. So let's go and check it out. If we go, okay, this needs to change to department as well. Now, if we run, where is this guy? If we run this guy, do you see? This is now properly highlighted. This guy's department is in executive. And by extension, this is available to our front end. But let me not go straight to the front end first. This is Golang. So let me not go to the front end first. So we're trying to explain the login scenario, how the login thing works. So going back to this session, that was why I didn't want to take time to explain the other part I just explained now. So this is copying the results from the database into what is exportable, what is going to be exported. That's user authentication employee. That is what is exported. That's why I'm saying copier.copy. Now, the next thing is for us to check the password and see if the password matches what is in the sorted table or sort the value that you entered. By the way, we don't store password in the database. You keep the sort and then forget the main password. So if everything go haywire, it's going to, give you an error here. Else, it's going to create a JWT token for you. So we have where is the secret that is using to hide this thing? That is a secret somewhere. Am I not signing it with a secret? I would have said so. Okay, so this is where I'm signing the stuff with a secret, because when you have your token and it's not signed, that's another wala. Now the JWT is a secure token that you encrypt, or you sign before it goes out there. This is a whole stuff on its own. I don't want to take my time to start explaining JWT, but it's a technology that you can use to embed some parameter, some data, and sign it and pass it across the web. And anybody with the key can actually change the information. So the only person that can change the information is the person with the key, and this key is available for us here. So we only have access to the key. Okay, so let me quickly finish what I'm doing. Now that I have the JWT created, the next thing is for me to put the key and send it to the front end, so that the front end can see hey, I have a token. Apart from sending it to the front end, so if there was an issue, getting that key, signed, it will give an error here. Else, it will set the cookie. Now, this is where the magic comes in. If you do not do this section, whenever you come back to the server, it will not know who you are. It will not know who you are. So that's what is happening here. And at the end, it returns authentication token. So let me show you from the front end how the whole thing works. So if you come here now, if you refresh the page, it will try to log in. That's why it has me here. That's what it's trying to do here. So it's trying to log in. It's trying to log in, or it's trying to check if you have access to login. Now, because you don't have access to login, you have to log in again. So let's log in. So I have So if you go in, notice the data that you have at the back end. Now you see your cookies is set. Then there are other parameters as well. All these other sections are very important as well, but most times people don't pay attention to them. So this is the payload which I'm sending, and then my data. This is the data we saw in the other end. You can now see the department. Department is now available for me. Now let me show you how I can make use of the departments. One of the interesting things that makes what's it called now? That makes TypeScript and Golang paddies. So let me show you guys how I was able to do most of the things I'm doing. Now, if you go to the application, that's the front end, which is in TypeScript, React. If you go to where I have the header section is where I have, let me show you the interface. So if you go to the interface here, that's where I have this stuff here, right? So if you want to make adjustment to this, I can just go to the code and make adjustments. So let me make this stuff show side by side. Okay, now if I go to, I think I have it as first name. Yeah, so that one is showing there. So that CC is showing. Now what I want to do is that I want it to also highlight my departments. Remember that I just created a department in Golang, right? I've not brought it here. So if you do emp dot, there's nothing like department here. Do you see that there's nothing like department? The only thing you have is employee, job title, and tenant user. There's no department. Why is there no department? Because you've not brought the data from the backend to your front end. So one of the tools that I'm using is a code generator to actually make some code available for me from the backend to the front end. So that's another story for another day. I wrote a make file to do that scripting for me, which it has done. Funny, why did it relog in for me? I didn't know why I asked. Did I ask it to relog in? Well, let's go back in. Okay, so let's go back in and make the change now. Let's check what I did. I did emp dot. So now it now has that department, and then it now has name. So you can see that department stuff that you did in your Golang is now available in TypeScript. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, so how do you even do muted? There's nothing like that. This should be like gray. Okay, so it's working now. Okay, thank you for joining the fan club. Okay, yeah, that's it. So I think that is much more better. And by the way, how can I get the pictures? Because the picture is actually stored in the server. I actually have access to the picture. So the picture you are seeing right now is not the main picture. This is just some sample picture from one other place. As you can tell, the application has quite a number of fields. You can see the data from the backend is crazy, guys. It's crazy. So you can't just dump all these things to the user at once. Depending on the section you are in the application would determine what you want to see or what you should be seeing at the interim. So I think the picture is even available for us, but the picture will not show anything reasonable for now. To not show anything reasonable, but let me go ahead and still show it. So yeah, it will show something, but let me just go ahead and show it. Even though it requires me to do some authentication or some validation, because it uses AWS. Picture is coming from AWS. So the picture is available here. That's emp. It's inside the user. Then you have, really, it's not inside the user. So let's go and check where the picture is. So if you go to the user, okay, the picture is here. So why was it not showing? So let's give it a try again. So we go emp user. Okay, that's the picture. Now the picture is a, string. I need to bring it up with a fixed, I need to join it with something else. Like I need to join it with Amazon Web Service short link. Okay, so let me get that ready as well. There's a link that I need to make ready so that I can get the full picture. So I think this is the picture inside here. Now this is the link. Let me check if that will work. Okay, that worked. So this is supposed to be a public thing, but I need to find a way to make this hidden somehow. So this needs to be, because you can't be providing that information every time. So that will be inside your environment variable. So obviously I don't need this part anymore. Actually, something else has taken over this one. So I was saying S3 URL. So should I end with this? Oh, okay. Let me end with that part. So let's bring this our code in. So guys, if you're here and you've not followed, please go ahead and follow. Go ahead and follow. You go ahead and follow, guys. So we can do this one like so. We're also streaming on YouTube. If you would like to join us on YouTube, see the link on our bio. Thank you for the follow. So we have this like this. This is how our information is gonna be. So I can use this to decide what to do. Okay, this one is also not fixed. There are some things I don't want to be telling the user. But I don't have a choice. I will look for a way around it, sure. So, like for example, now this is the tenant information here. You guys should not come and crucify me. I know this is bad, but tenant ID is coming, and then this height is. Okay, so this happens to be what we have here. This one looks too grayish. No, 300. Is there something like 350? This what was it called? This tailwind is somehow you go start tire. It just be like CSS. You are going back to do CSS again. It's very funny. Okay, so this is what I've been able to achieve so far. There's quite a lot of things that I need to do on the dashboard. I'm actually trying to convert one of my apps to this one. This is the setting page, this is the home page. What I want to do before I go and sleep is I want to work on the announcement page. Yes, so it's like inline CSS, which is terrible. That's why I don't want to do it. But see, one thing I've realized that just follow what the word is doing, or else you just be left behind. Follow what the word is doing, you just be left behind. So everybody is doing this. Well, just go ahead and do it. If you can't beat them, you join them. So the same thing with React. React is not the best, but it's what everybody has chosen. So guess what? You have to choose it. If that's what everybody has chosen, go ahead and choose it. How long do you think I can school to know all these? Start from the beginning. Start. Don't be asking this kind of question. Just go and start. It doesn't look impossible to learn. Have you ever seen an artist before? Have you ever seen an artist drawing before? It looks impossible to learn because you're not doing anything about it. So if you start doing it, you are going to know it. That's what it requires. Okay, so I'm gonna get my AI buddy to help me do some of the things that we have here. Okay, yes, I think I'm not going to add any more features to this. What I want to do is I want to bring in my logo. I have my logo on the app. I want to bring it in. I've been saving it for quite a long time now, and I think it's high time for me to launch it, but I don't know where it is on my system. But it's actually everywhere on GitHub. It's everywhere on GitHub, but I don't know where it is on my laptop. But we'll just use the GitHub variants anyway, and then we'll be good to go. So I think it's just there on my GitHub account. Why is GitHub taking forever to load? That's the logo. That's the logo. So I want to put it on the site, and then I'll call it a night. I can go and do something else with my life. So make sure you guys are following. Make sure you guys are following. By the way, we have a channel where I publish when I'm coming online. So if you're interested, see the link on my bio to join the channel. So I have a WhatsApp channel, I have a YouTube page. Make sure you guys are there. Very important, very important. So this is the logo, which is what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this logo? Okay, so do I have a full logo? I can't even remember if I have the full logo or so. But first of all, this logo needs to go in as one of the props that is available here. So inside it needs to be in public. Okay, I have an SVG version, but I don't know if it is available here. Oh, Oga, God is your strength. So let me just call it logo to save everybody the trouble. I'm gonna drop the vite SVG. So that is gonna be changed to PNG, and that's gonna be called logo.png. And the next thing is this office line here. That is under sidebar. Where is sidebar? Component sidebar. Office line. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni, na image I want display. Okay, I don't even need to. Okay. Okay, so do that for me, and then we know what's up. You're teaching them how to save my job for free. Trust bees. I didn't get that. I didn't get that part. Yeah, I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love that tiny logo, but it's too small. So if it's on a tablet, this is desktop mode. Let me do 20 on a desktop mode to see what it turns out to be. Now that's too much, because it's supposed to even have the name. Let me see, 15. Okay, what was it before? 10. Hello, if I may ask, I just joined here. What's happening? I see it's like you're dealing up things of Andra. Just follow, just follow, just follow, just follow. Oh, okay, trust bees. Don't worry now. Don't worry, they'll still come and pay you. You know that people don't like free things. People don't like free things. Don't worry, they will still pay you. So eventually, I think I'll just do 10-10 for everything, because even for it looks so small. It looks so small. I think I'll just do 10-10. I think I should just do each screen is desktop this. Then I'll just do this one. I think it will end up being the same thing. Yeah, this is beautiful. In fact, yeah, this is better. So let me read out comments so that I can attend to people. Someone said that okay, so the next class, make sure that you are following us on WhatsApp community. Go and check our WhatsApp community. That's when we will announce all those things. Go and check. You go and see it and join our community. If you are not following, guys, please follow. Tap on your screen and follow the live. Follow the live. Okay, I'm almost done to go and sleep. This my logo. You get two of them. It's only one that is here. There's a longer one that needs to be here, but this one is a shorter one, which is I'm rocking it right now. I'm really rocking it. I like what I see. You like what you see? I like what I see. Okay, what's the number to join the community? What's the number to join the community? See the link on my bio. Shark Culture. See the link on my bio. You will see it in my bio. You will see it on my bio. There's a link on my bio. When you click it, you will see the community details there, and then you'll be able to join. Okay, so suggestion on how you improve your work is just to take on more work. That's how you can improve on your work. Take on more work and you'll be able to improve on your work. Take on more work. So I think I want to do one or two things and then we're good to go. Somebody was asking me something on encryption. What was it again? If you are still there, let me know. Somebody was asking me something on encryption. Let me see if I can add one or two things and then I can be going to sleep. So there's a dashboard session. Dashboard is where a lot of wonderful things are going to be happening. There's still quite a lot of things I've not done. Oh, I now remember the login screen. I need to put the logo there as well. Yeah, I like this theme. Very beautiful. What do you guys think? This is beautiful. So let me change the logo. This logo, where I want to see this logo downstairs. I think that is layout app. This is login. Then there's supposed to be a logo somewhere here. So do I put the logo inside this transparency first thing or just do my own thing? Okay, the work is clean and very legit, 100% for you. Thank you, Shark Culture. Okay, so this transparency get disadvantage. We'll soon start to the enter disadvantage section now. I'm looking at this my logo. That's the, it's a, what's it called, Steph? It's a PNG logo. That's why. God, that's my official logo. So make I use envelope. Which one be envelope again? So let me see. Class name height 20. Once I get the original logo now, the whole thing will be done. Okay, I think I was seeing something on that black. I think I will maintain black. Yeah, I think I like what I see in the black guy. Black. What just happened? Okay, spelling issue. I code with anything, not just Python. I code with any programming language. I use any programming language. Tomorrow na church. I need to go and do make I go church. This one is okay. Nah. Okay. I think I'm gonna stop here. Yep. I'm gonna stop tweaking here. 55. I'm trying 55. Okay. One more 5. Okay. Who has this little baby? I've not started saving states now. I've not started saving the states. So once I've started, I will surely use those things. Who get baby? I need to censor this image with the thing just they bring for me. There are some image that I don't like. But I don't have a choice. I have to use it like that. There's an image that's I don't yeah, this is beautiful. This is nice. This is what you would like to wake up to see in your application. Yeah, this is nice. So there's several things that I still need to put in place. I still need to put forget password. I still need to do registration, sign up, and whatnot. But for now, this is what I've been able to do. Let me touch inside a little bit. Let me see what I need to set in the inside. I actually have a separate section for analytics actually. And that's no, I don't think I will do that. So I don't want to. I want to change even the quote has been wonderful because it has been received very well. The quote has been wonderful. So I'm thinking about it. As you can see, this one is more centered in the middle. Yeah, I think I want to bring difference to where we are coming from as opposed just copying and paste. So I want to redefine things. Of course, I know that the inside is still similar. I need to find a way to filter these pictures that's coming up. Some of the pictures I don't like them, but most of them I like them, sure. This one too is not good. This is not good. This is not good. This is fear. So what I'm thinking of is this, there will be a button that we will be putting here. That's for administrator. Once a page load, once a picture load, this picture is perfect. Once a picture load, you will click on the save button. Now that pictures that you save are the only ones that can be shown again, or that will be everly I say everly shown that will be available to be seen. So by default, it will not show any picture. So it's when the admin logs in and then any picture that it sees, it saves it. That picture is what can then be shown to other people that log on. So that way you are safe. You are not just seeing any random image and things like that. Can I see the encryption for the password? For the encryption, use it. Okay, let's quickly look at the, so for the encryption for the password, just give me like a minute. I'll show you now. I'll show you, but something just came to my head before I forget. Once I do this, I will show you that part. I want to change this menu to analytics. There's a menu I want to quickly add. So I have dashboard, I have settings. So let me add this one quickly, then we'll go and add the one. Okay, so I want to have analytics separate from the dashboard, because dashboard and analytics are two different things. So I come to route and create encryption. So this is supposed to be so this is analytics. Dashboard is supposed, for now, is supposed to just contain where you have your announcements and what have you. So I'm gonna remove all these guys. Okay. So your analytics, why is giving the error? Okay. So the route has not been set. Okay, so it's supposed to be like this. Okay, so someone wants to know about the encryption that was used. Let's dig dive, and after that, I think I will go and sleep. I need to go and sleep tomorrow, or today's church. I'm waking up early. So analytics is, or rather, I say analytics. The encryption is a standard encryption stuff, nothing so crazy. From logging in, this is what the check password is what you know what is happening. It receives the hash password that was saved the hash password is not the person's password. It's hashed and it was salted with something, right? If you want to keep password secrets, so you will hash the password, or it's saying you will hash the password plus salt. So salt is something random, and the salt is always changed every time. Now, when you do that, you will keep the salt so that you can use the salt to decode what it is, and the salt is always different every time. Okay, so let's go ahead. Now this is the password which the user supplied, which it was a sorted or a hashed stuff that was provided when the user was registering or was saving his password. Then this is the sort that was used, and the sort is unique for every single user. Then this is what the person is entering right now. Now the system is going to do some checking. This is the code for check. Now we use SHA-256. I think they were talking about one thing with this SHA-256. Maybe the thing don't get problem and be one thing. I'm not so sure about the talks around it, right? So this is the encryption used. SHA-256. There are more higher encryption stuff that you can use, but this is fairly okay. Then this is the salt. I'm holding the salt inside H, right? And then I'm passing the password and the salt, or rather I'm passing the password and the secret key, because believe it or not, I still use a secret key to hold the information. And finally I use the where did I even use the salt? I'm looking for the salt. Yes, I hold the salt here. The salt is the key. Good. The salt is the key. And then I have the app secrets. So you have two things here. You have salt app secrets. So you have two things that this one no one can see it anyway. This one is not visible. You don't have access to it. But this one, if you hack the DB, you can have access to it. If you hack the database, you can get hold of this one. But this one is inside the app. You won't be able to see it. So even if you have access to this, if you don't have access to this, you cannot encrypt the key or the password of the person. And the password in the first place was never saved. So that's how this part works. Okay guys, as you can tell, I'm already feeling sleepy. For people on TikTok, or rather from people on YouTube, that will be all.